While the royal knights infiltrate the Midnight Sun's base, Yami visits the Golden Dawn as Vangeance wishes to apologize for Langris' actions. Vanessa goes off to visit Finral, Magna leaves to train, while Charmy embarks on a search for more ingredients, and Yami tells them not to trash the base while they are away. Gauche is left alone with Gordon and Gray, but he wishes to carve his Marie figurine in peace. He tells them to go to their rooms, but they refuse as both Gordon and Gray are trying to be friendlier with their fellow squad mates. Gordon shows them his doll collection of the Black Bulls, but Gray points out they look like voodoo dolls and Gauche calls it creepy. He asks Gordon where the bathroom is and wonders why the black base keeps shifting, recalling rumors of ghosts haunting the walls. Suddenly, hordes of zombies break into their base. After blasting them with a reflect ray, the bulls find they are under attack by Raids, Sally, and Voltos of the Midnight Sun, who are searching for something in their base. Sally sends a steroid-enhanced zombie towards them, and for the first time Gordon fires off his magic, the poison curse attribute Offwesh and Datch, which manages to take down the zombie. Sally tries to intervene atop her salamander, but Gray has a new trick up her sleeve, transforming her salamander into solid ice, allowing Gauche to smash it with a reflect ray. However, Voltos summons number 0, Mikhail Caesar, a powerful zombie created by combining the corpses of 2 former Magic Knight captains. It blasts them away, allowing Voltos and several zombies to infiltrate the base. Gordon and Gray struggle to get up. Gordon recalls being isolated due to the nature of his magic, while Gray remembers struggling being able to show her true self. But now they have a reason to fight for their beloved squad, the Black Bulls. Gauche stands with them, and together they stand against the Midnight Sun. Suddenly, their base violently shifts and trembles, and a strange white-haired man emerges from a door. The white-haired man tries to introduce himself, but everyone is exasperated by how slowly he talks. Raids tries attacking him, however he dodges it by shifting the entire base. In a flashback, the man is shown to have a disease that keeps him bedridden. Yami recently made a Magic Knight captain and asks if his base can be used as a hideout. Abandoned by his parents and with nothing left to lose, he agrees, but only when he dies. Yami refuses this condition, and when the Black Bulls move in, he manages to secretly borrow their magical power to keep on living. They do not know him, but he knows the Black Bulls all too well and has always been a member of the family. He introduces himself as Henry, the secret member of the Black Bulls. An overconfident Raid sends Mikhail Caesar to attack him, but Henry transforms the base into a raging Black Bull, which effortlessly pummels Mikhail Caesar into the ground. Henry's magic slowly drains the magic of those nearby, which he uses to cast his spells. He isolates himself so that the effects are lessened, lest he seriously harm his teammates. As the raging Black Bull smashes Raid's zombie, Sally activates her magic item that increases her power tenfold, and she summons a giant gel salamander to combat the bull. Her gel monster is more than a match for the bull, pinning it down. Using his cloning ability, Gauche summons multiples of Gray that transforms the salamander into vegetation, allowing Gordon's poison magic to quickly decay it. Raid sends his zombie to attack them, but for the third time Henry knocks it away. Voltos has retrieved Asta's magic stone and signals a retreat. Raids reluctantly complies, but says that their business is not finished. The Bulls are victorious, but they are horrified to learn that Henry is unable to immediately fix the base. Meanwhile, Voltos returns the magic stone to Licht, who affixes it onto the stone tablet. Yami alongside other characters sense a strange shift in the air. The Midnight Sun need 2 more stones to fulfill their plans, and the stakes are even higher. Nozel attacks the Midnight Mages relentlessly, and his companions are surprised at his ferocity. Knowing that Voltos is currently absent from their base and with Cobb jamming any spatial magic, he intends to finish off Licht and his forces. Noel and the others make swift progress, but Mimosa is unsettled by the strange patterns on the walls, especially after a Midnight Mage says they will soon be reborn. Elsewhere, Marioliona and Zora are perplexed when there are suddenly 2 Astas. Marioliona simply burns them both, revealing Rhea the Disloyal's disguise. Rhea attempts to attack Marioliona using one of Yami's spells, but she simply brushes it off, calling it a pale imitation of the real deal. Before Rhea can react, she pummels him through a wall. Marioliona chases after Rhea, who tries using super fast light magic, expecting her to be unable to keep up, but to his shock she effortlessly parries every single bolt. Rhea soon learns how outclassed he is as Marioliona smashes through every spell Rhea can muster, burning through even water attribute spells with ease. Asta and Zora watch in awe at her sheer combat strength. Zora surmises that although Rhea can copy any spell attribute he wishes, he can only use one spell at a time. Left with no other choice, Rhea suddenly copies Asta's Demon Slayer sword, much to the surprise of Asta and Zora. Rhea recalls Licht calling him and his magic kind, but he knows he is the complete opposite. Regardless, he swears revenge on those who betrayed Licht. Without hesitation, Marioliona smashes through Rhea's copy of Asta's sword, and Rhea begins to realize that Marioliona not only has the abundant magic of a royal, but uncanny human strength as well. She unleashes her mana zone, Calidus Brachium Barrage, an overwhelming all-out pummeling using the surrounding mana. Rhea has no answer to the onslaught and he slowly burns to a crisp. Elsewhere, Yuno crushes a group of midnight mages while Mimosa notices Yuno can also use mana zone techniques. They slowly and carefully approach a source of powerful magic. Meanwhile, the bulls left behind lament the state of their base. Although Gauche finds his treasured Marie collection unharmed, a blemish one his Marie doll leads him to blame both Henry and the Midnight Eye. Elsewhere, Yami grows impatient that Vengeance has yet to arrive. When Golden Dawn members reassure him that he will be there soon, he replies that the damage Langris did to Finral warrants an apology. They insist that he would never knowingly insult Yami, to which he replies that he knows. Vengeance meets with Julius, who begins to talk about how he owes much to the Wizard King for looking past his appearance. But the hour has come for him to decide between him and another precious person he made a promise to. He sheds his mask and his hair grows out. Julius had hoped this was not the case, but as it is, Vengeance is none other than Licht, the leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. As Julius comes to grips with the implications of this revelation, he realizes that Fugolian was likely distracted by his appearance when he was attacked. He thought it to be impossible, but Licht is living proof of two souls in one body. Yami had not noticed the deception because the scar on his face is not caused by magic, but by a curse. Licht attacks Julius, intending to retake the magic stones he has in his possession, but his time magic manages to stop his attack. Licht recognizes that Julius can sense the future using Mana Zone. However, he manages to outspeed him and land a blow. But to his shock, he simply heals his wounds by reversing time on himself. He renews his attacks, but Julius has sped up, stopping Licht dead in his tracks. He has seen the future and Licht cannot win. Although their battle is too fast to follow, Marx senses that Julius is battling Licht. He sends out a message to all available Magic Knight captains regarding the events unfolding at the castle. Yami responds to the alert and he hopes that his suspicions are wrong. Licht is frustrated that none of his attacks seem to stop Julius, who has increasingly become accustomed to his speed. He realizes that Julius isn't even trying to fight back, as he does not want to harm Vengeance's body. He tries to find his grimoire and Julius points above to a swirling mass of pages, a coverless grimoire. Julius had always wondered what his purpose was in life for acquiring such a rare kind of magic, and throughout his journey he has come to an answer. He is the Wizard King sworn to protect the Clover Kingdom and her people. A desperate Licht instead decides to target the people themselves and begins amassing a powerful barrage of light swords across the entire kingdom, emulating the same attack that killed his people on that fateful day. Julius recalls his experience as a magic knight and the vast injustice he observed between the arrogant and self-serving nobles and the oppressed, lethargic peasants. He observed a magic knight, Zora, whom he held great respect for as a model magic knight. However, upon hearing his former comrades jeer Zora's death, his outrage at this injustice grew. Thus he strove to become the Wizard King to mend the differences between the classes, and hoped that through great effort gradual change would follow. Julius activates a massive time reversal spell over the entire kingdom, completely stopping Licht's attack. Tragically, his love for the people is what led to his demise, and Licht takes the opportunity to stab him. Yami arrives too late and he angrily draws his sword. Julius is mortally wounded and Yami yells at a shaken Marx to call for help. Yami attacks Licht with a dimensional slash, but he manages to escape through Volto's portal. Yami rushes to his friend's side. As he enters his final moments, he places his hopes into the next generation of magic knights. Meanwhile, Marioliona begins to deal the finishing blow and a desperate Rhea attempts to self-destruct. Asta, who has seen this spell before, rushes in to stop it with his sword. He wishes to come to an understanding with the Midnight Sun, but Marioliona insists on wiping them out. Asta reasons that the enemy too is fighting to protect something, and although he is not smart enough now, he hopes to create a world where everyone can understand each other regardless of who they are. Marioliona is impressed with his ambition, which is strikingly similar to that of Julius. Rhea is also touched by his sincerity but remarks that is too late. Licht returns with the last two magic stones ready to enact the final act of his plan. Meanwhile, Yami tends to a dying Julius who regrets leaving behind unfinished business. Grateful for all that Julius has done, Yami refuses to let him go. However, fate is cruel and Julius entrusts everything else to Yami. As he draws his last breath, he is thankful to have seen all sorts of magic. Yami salutes him for the final time, and on this day, the Wizard King Julius Novachrono passes away. His grimoire scatters throughout the Clover Kingdom, the home he gave his life to protect. Yuno and his group arrive at the center of the Midnight Eyes hideout, where they find an elf in suspension. At the same time, Licht affixes the final 2 magic stones to the tablet, while Raid, Sally, and Voltos celebrate his triumph. Suddenly, Licht reveals that everything up until this point has been a lie and he had always detested the disgusting, selfish, and intolerant humans. He tells them that they will serve as the foundation for their rebirth. A flash of light envelops the small town of Hage and similar pillars of light erupt throughout the land. Rhea, who was on the brink of death, is suddenly reinvigorated as a strange tattoo strikes across his face. Strangest of all, Mimosa notices that Yuno is also enveloped in the light, developing a similar tattoo. Centuries ago, the elf Patry is fond of Licht, who recently received a 4-leaf clover grimoire. While lounging in a field, Licht rescues a princess named Tesha from being caught in a tornado. Her brother arrives bearing the same grimoire and magic as Licht. They soon become fast friends, and although some elves look upon them with suspicion, they generally look favorably upon them as they also wish to coexist peacefully with elves. A romance blooms between Licht and Tesha, and they are soon with child. On their wedding day, they are viciously attacked by light magic, exterminating them. A vengeful Patry blames the human mage. In their final moments, Licht performs a forbidden spell reincarnating the souls of the elves throughout the land. Patry awakens, finding himself in a human body with the features of Licht. Realizing that he alone can bring about the resurrection of his kin, he reclaims his 4-leaf grimoire and dedicates his life to save his kin. He amasses sufficient magic to resurrect Rhea, Veto, and Fauna, but to bring back their entire race he plans to use the power of the magic stones and a great number of live sacrifices. Raids, Sally, and Voltos are in disbelief at this betrayal, as Licht intends to use them as fuel to bring back his true comrades. The 3 die as their souls are forcibly ripped out and the cogs begin to turn in Licht's grand scheme. It is also revealed that Yuno is one of the many reincarnated elves. The royal knights infiltrating the Midnight Sun's base are horrified and confused when their enemies begin to crumble away into dust. Across the kingdom, citizens watch with concern over the growing light at the skull of Hage. The light soon subsides, but Gray points out that Gauche is glowing. He too is a reincarnated elf, alongside his sister Marie. Pillars of light being streaking across the kingdom. Several of the royal knights are also reincarnated elves, including Ruben, Luck, Puli, Fragile, Rill, Nils, and Tiem. Asta looks on in confusion, demanding an explanation from Rhea, but he simply replies that the end of humans has come. Elsewhere, Mimosa looks on in fear and confusion, as it is revealed that both Klaus and Hammond are also elves. Across the kingdom, the reincarnated elves turn hostile toward their comrades and friends. Licht's final revenge is in motion. Yami overhears several magic knights being attacked and finds that both Marks and Owen are also reincarnated elves. They reveal their intention to wipe out the human race, and Yami realizes that the Midnight Sun members themselves are not being revived. The pair attack him, and Yami is forced to back off, having noticed that their magic has powered up significantly. But when they insult Julius' corpse, he becomes angered and attacks them, knocking them unconscious. Suddenly, the ground below him erupts as thorns and roses burst out, revealing that Charlotte, the captain of the Blue Roses, is also a reincarnate. She no longer has memory of Yami, but remarks he is skilled for a human. As Yami faces off against Charlotte, he notices that her roses are now red, unlike the blue roses she was cursed with as a child. Saul soon arrives, having been earlier attacked by Charlotte. Yami orders her to escape with Julius' body, but she insists on trying to save Charlotte. However, Saul is unable to cast any magic at all due to the extremely dense magic. Forced to face her own helplessness, she begs Yami to save her dear sister. After sending her off, Yami fires off a dimension slash against Charlotte's vine spear, hoping to take her down alive. Their attacks appear evenly matched, but Charlotte's vine spear overpowers Yami's dimension slash. However, she does not emerge unscathed and she is forced to retreat. He instructs Saul to rescue whoever he can and reminds her to take care of the thing he entrusted her with. Meanwhile, the destruction caused by the reincarnated elves has released Gelder, the former captain of the Purple Orcas, out of prison. He runs into Rivchai the Chain Magician, a disgraced member of the Purple Orcas. Their hostile reunion is short-lived when they both realize they were both stopped by Asta. Suddenly, a reincarnated elf arrives and the two work together to subdue him. Elsewhere, Noel is attacked by the reincarnated Luck, forcing Kirsch to defend them from their assault. Noel is frozen in place, trying to comprehend why Luck is attacking her. She remains sluggish, frustrating Kirsch. Asta, Zora, and Marioleona now have to deal with a significantly powered-up Rhea. Although he was moved by Asta's sincerity, he has resolved never to trust a human again. Rhea is now able to use multiple spell attributes at once, which spells trouble for the Royal Knights. A reincarnated Rill soon arrives, calling himself Lyra, who is overjoyed to see Rhea. Asta, Zora, and Marioleona are visibly confused, unaware of the events that have transpired. The pair attack the Royal Knights, however, a clever smokescreen from Zora allows Asta to slash Rill, but to their surprise his anti-magic does not work. Rhea explains that it is not simple magic but a deeper reincarnation spell that binds a soul to a body. Soon even more reincarnated royal knights arrive. Zora, realizing they cannot hope to beat them, signals a retreat. Leona blasts a hole in a wall and throws the two through it. Rhea asks if she is simply trying to buy time for them, but Leona is doing nothing of the sort. She means to kill them all right there. At the Crimson Lion's base, Fugolian's hand suddenly moves. Leopold and the other Crimson Lions struggle to keep the now reincarnated Vice Captain Randall in check. He desperately mounts an attack, but it is effortlessly brushed off. The Crimson Lions, galvanized by Leopold's spirit, try to back him up, but they are hopelessly outmatched. Randall's air magic proves to be a frustrating endeavor to fight against. Even Leopold's clever tricks and intuition fail to land a blow. The Crimson Lions rally behind Leopold, calling him their next captain. Leopold feels at the cusp of a breakthrough with his mana, but his body suffers a breakdown. He desperately tries to get up and Randall prepares to execute him. However, he senses a familiar mana and an imposing figure emerges from the Crimson Lion's base. After a long hiatus, Fugolian has returned. He praises his brother for putting up a good fight. Fugolian swears on his honor that he shall never lose again. The great fire spirit Salamander, once fighting alongside Fauna, takes its place by Fugolian's side. Randall is incensed that Salamander chose a human and a royal at that as a partner. Confident that elves are unbeatable, he foolishly stands in Fugolian's way, but his flames are far too powerful for him to blow away. He is eventually knocked out and subdued, and the Crimson Lions hail the return of their beloved captain. However, he is surprised to learn that Leona is the current captain, making him the former. Knowing that Leona finds the Magic Knights a hassle, he remarks that he made her do something out of character. Not wanting to reveal Vengeance's true identity yet, he orders the remaining Crimson Lions to defend the city. Elsewhere, at the Golden Dawn, several reincarnated members discuss their orders to slaughter humans. A reincarnated Langris emerges, excited at the prospect of exacting their revenge. Fugolian is not the only member to return. Finral finally awakens from his injuries, and after being briefed by Yami, he resolves to go save his brother. And this brings the anime to an end. Comment for part 10. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care.